What's up, guys? Today, I'm going to give you the secret to becoming a successful fighter or even successful in life. And it's really just one answer is there's multiple answers that could lead up to you being successful or not in fighting or in life. But main determining factor that I've seen out of the super successful people, and this includes in life, this includes in business, this includes in other sports, in your career, it could be any career you have, is, guys, being competitive. The toughest fighters I've ever trained with were the most competitive. The hardest working fighters I've ever trained with were competitive. I don't know one super extremely competitive person that's lazy. The people that are extremely competitive are not lazy. They work hard because they're in their mind, they think the opposition's training harder. But every fighter without exception that I've ever seen or trained with that went to a high level was the most competitive people in the gym, pretty much. And I've trained at several different gyms, quite a few. And the best fighters in every gym I've ever been to were the most competitive ones. And this is a two-edged sword, guys, because sometimes being competitive can make you not a good teammate. It can make you be argumentative to your teammates. There's issues, right? But as a whole, it's a good problem to have. I'll be honest with you. It's a good problem to have. My kid's mother, her mom, so my kid's grandmother on their mom's side, she tells me the other day, she tells me about James Jr., how my son, he cried when he doesn't win. When he loses stuff, he cries and throws a fit. And I told her, I laughed at her, and I said, yes, I understand we have to manage his emotions and make sure he's not a sore loser and knows how to act. But long term, that's a very good trait to have. Like I said, this includes anything, guys. Business. The richest people I know are the most competitive. I have multiple friends that are very wealthy. I've met a lot of people through my years in fighting and everything. And I've met some successful people, business people, former sports players, former NFL players. One of my best friends is a former NFL player and owns multiple businesses and does airport security. He builds the machines for airports and stuff, for the security machines that you walk through and stuff like that at TSA. And he has government contracts, and he's extremely competitive. I train him a couple times a week, and he's competitive. I know, honestly, every rich person I know is competitive. The toughest fighters I know are the most competitive. And in fighting, going back to fighting, if it doesn't matter, you might lose to somebody who's not as competitive as you. That's definitely possible if their skills are high and yours aren't. That's a skill set thing. You could be the most competitive person in the gym, but you've been training for 3 years and you're a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, we'll say, and you've been training for 3 years and you're fighting a college wrestler. You might lose that fight just because you can't stop this guy's takedown, even if you're more competitive. If the skills are high enough, it doesn't matter. If the person that's not as competitive has a high skill set, they can still win. So there's multiple things plays the factor, but being competitive, without a doubt, guys, the most competitive people I've ever met were the toughest fighters. Were the ones that worked the hardest. They had these traits because they were competitive. I don't know one person that has great work ethic that isn't competitive. So just something to think about, guys. This is a secret weapon. Be extremely competitive. I used to come in when I would go to practice and I would get mad at people. I'm looking around. This is how competitive I was. Keep in mind, I didn't start training until I was 20 years old. So I'm very disappointed about how my career ended, but I went really far, really fast, considering I didn't even start training until I was 20 years old, didn't start grappling until I was 22. And I remember I would come into the gym and I would get mad if other people were getting more reps than me. They always say, oh, he's the first one in the gym and the first one and the last one out of the gym. I was that guy for sure. But also I would look around and I would see people drilling jiu-jitsu techniques and getting way more reps than me. I got to go faster. I got to do more. And obviously you have to make sure your technique is good if you're drilling something as well. But I got to a point where I would just do more reps so I did more reps in jiu-jitsu. I have 3 submission wins in the UFC. I did more reps in wrestling and jiu-jitsu because I didn't start grappling until I was 22, so I was very behind. I did more reps in jiu-jitsu in a 5-year period than I think most people probably do in a 15-year period. That's how much I drilled, and that's how I was able to go far and be successful in grappling in MMA for sure. Competitive, guys. And every one of the toughest fighters I knew, the hardest workers I trained with, were all the most competitive. So something to think about, guys. Hope that video was good. If you have any other subjects you'd like me to go over, then leave a comment below. If you're new to martial arts, looking for a gym in your area, get my book, The Ultimate Guide to Choosing a Martial Arts School Instructor. Link is in the description.